Hey everyone, welcome back to the Agency Accelerator, the podcast dedicated to helping you build a profitable, sustainable, and enjoyable agency. I'm your host, Rob DaCosta, and today we're picking up where we left off in our two-part series on the 8 essential rules for agency owners. If you missed part 1 of this series last week, make sure you go back and listen because we cover some crucial rules that lay the foundation for running a successful agency. Today we are diving into the next set of rules focused on how you can further refine and grow your agency. So in last week's episode, we covered rule number 1, that you are not your agency, the importance of creating a business that can thrive without your constant involvement. Then we talked about rule number 2, your client's success is your success. And this is all about aligning your goals with your client's outcomes to build long-term relationships. We covered rule number 3, never stop learning, the need for continuous growth and staying ahead in the ever-evolving marketing landscape. And rule number 4, profitability over popularity, focusing on what drives revenue and not just chasing vanity metrics. Today we're moving on to rules 5 through 8, starting with value your time. So let's get started. I'm Rob DaCosta, and this is the Agency Accelerator podcast. As someone who has stood in your shoes, having started, grown and sold my own agency, I know just how it feels in the ups and downs of agency life. So this podcast aims to ease your journey just a little by sharing mine and my guests' experiences and advice as you navigate your way to growing a profitable, sustainable and enjoyable business. So let's jump right in with rule number 5, which is value your time. Time is one of our most precious resources, and as an agency owner, it's crucial to manage it really wisely. You might find yourself caught up in daily tasks and urgent client demands, but effective time management is key to sustaining and growing your business. First off, you need to identify what activities truly drives your agency forwards. For instance, if you're the one who brings in new clients or develops high-level strategies, those are really high-value tasks. Your time should be primarily spent on these tasks rather than on low-impact tasks like administrative work or minor client issues. Once you've pinpointed your high-value activities, it's time to delegate the rest. This doesn't just mean offloading tasks, it means empowering your team to take ownership and handle responsibilities that allow you to focus on what you do best. For example, I worked with an agency owner who was spending too much time on client reports. We implemented a reporting system that automated much of this process, freeing up his time for more strategic planning and client acquisition. Another powerful technique is time blocking. This involves scheduling specific blocks of time for different tasks or types of work. For instance, you might block out mornings for strategic planning and afternoons for client meetings. This helps prevent task overlap and ensures that you're dedicated focused time on what matters most. And when we focus on one thing at a time, we are so much more efficient. It's important to recognize and cut out activities that don't add value. This could be anything from excessive meetings to checking emails too frequently. Set boundaries and create systems that minimize these distractions. For example, establish a policy where team members compile questions and issues and then address them in a scheduled weekly meeting rather than constant ad hoc communication. There are numerous tools and techniques designed to help you manage your time more effectively, and I've talked about this many times before. Project management software, time tracking apps, and productivity tools can streamline your workflow and help you stay organized. For instance, using a tool like Asana or Trello can help you track tasks, deadlines, and project progress in a visual, manageable way. Lastly, don't forget that valuing your time also means taking care of yourself. Burnout is a real risk when you're constantly pushing yourself without breaks. You are not Superman or Superwoman, so schedule regular time off, take breaks during the day, and ensure you're maintaining a healthy work-life balance. This not only improves your well-being, but also your productivity and effectiveness when you are working. By valuing your time and making conscious decisions about how you spend it, you can enhance your productivity, reduce stress, and focus on what truly drives your business forwards. Okay, on to rule number 6, which is the power of saying no to the wrong clients, i.e. understanding that not every client is a perfect fit for your agency. Learning to say no to clients who don't align with your agency's goals or values is essential for maintaining your agency's health and ensuring you focus on work that truly matters. The first step in saying no is recognizing when a potential client is not the right fit for your agency. And this could be due to misaligned goals, unrealistic expectations, or a budget that doesn't meet your minimum requirements, or it could even be the fact that they're not a perfect fit for your niche. For instance, if a potential client wants services that are outside of your expertise, or offers a budget that won't cover the cost of delivering quality work, it's better to decline the opportunity than it is to stretch your resources thin because you think they might be a good name for your brand. Next, consider the impact on your team and resources. Taking on clients that aren't a good fit can strain your team, affect morale, and divert resources from your ideal projects. I've seen agencies take on high maintenance clients just to keep the pipeline full, only to find that the stress and dissatisfaction leads to burnout and high turnover rates, both internally and with the client. To make this process easier, establish clear criteria for what constitutes an ideal client. This might include factors like industry relevance, project scope, budget range, and the level of collaboration required. For example, if your agency specializes in digital marketing for tech startups, your criteria might include a minimum budget, a desire for innovative strategies, and a collaborative approach to working with your team. Saying no doesn't mean closing the door completely. If a potential client isn't a fit, consider referring them to another agency or recommending resources that might better serve their needs. This not only maintains a positive relationship, but also positions you as a trusted advisor who genuinely cares about their success, even if it's not with your agency. When it's time to say no, do so with professionalism and empathy. A respectful and clear communication can make all the difference. For instance, you might say something like, "Thanks you so much for considering our agency. After reviewing your needs and your current workload, we believe we may not be the best fit for this project. I'll be happy to refer you to another agency that might better align with your requirements." Finally, remember that saying no to the wrong clients can lead to long-term benefits. It allows you to focus on projects and clients that align with your agency's strengths and values, leading to higher satisfaction, better results, and a stronger reputation in your niche. Over time, this will help you build more sustainable and more enjoyable business. Let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I had an agency client who was approached by a high-profile company. The client was really excited about the prestige, but quickly realized that the company's expectations were unrealistic and their budget was too low for the scope of work that they were asking for. So they decided to pass on the opportunity, and while it was a tough call, it allowed them to focus on projects that were more aligned with their expertise and values. As a result, they built stronger client relationships with their existing clients and saw better overall results. So here's my challenge to you. Review your current client base and the opportunities coming your way. Are there any clients or projects that don't align with your agency's goals or values? If so, consider how you can strategically say no and focus the work that truly drives your agency's success. And of course, if that frees up time, then you can invest that time in business development to find those ideal fit clients. So that's a wrap on rule number 6, the power of saying no. So let's move on to rule number 7, which is investing in systems and processes. Building a successful agency isn't just about acquiring clients and delivering great work. It's also about creating a strong foundation that supports the growth and operational efficiency. The first step in investing in systems and processes is identifying where you need improvements. Take a look at your current operations. Where are the bottlenecks? What tasks take up too much time? Common areas for improvement include project management, client communication, financial tracking, and client service. For example, if you find that your managing client projects involves a lot of manual tracking and follow-ups, it might be time to invest in a project management tool that automates many of these tasks. Once you've pinpointed the areas that need improvement, first of all, document the process before you start looking for the system. That's super important. When I talk about process, I mean the actual steps that you're going to take. And when I talk about system, I mean the software. And of course, there are countless tools that can help with running of your agency, from project management software like Asana or Trello to financial tools like Xero or QuickBooks. The key is to select tools that integrate well with each other and align with your workflow or your system. For instance, using a project management tool that integrates with your time tracking software can streamline your processes and reduce administrative overhead. Creating standard operating procedures, or SOPs, is another vital aspect of investing in systems. SOPs are the detailed instructions on how to perform specific tasks or processes within your agency, and you have to start here because they ensure consistency, improve efficiency, and make onboarding new team members so much smoother. For example, you might have created SOPs for client onboarding, project delivery, or quality assurance. Having these documented will help your team understand expectations and also follow best practices, which means you can delegate and be confident that the client is going to get a good, consistent experience. Investing in systems and processes isn't just about the tools, it's also about ensuring that your team knows how to use them effectively. Provide thorough training on any new systems or procedures that you implement. This might include formal training sessions, written guides, hands-on workshops, or even creating your own internal AI coach to help people deliver these procedures consistently. A well-trained team is more likely to embrace new tools and procedures, leading to better overall performance. And of course, implementing systems and processes is not just a one-time task, but an ongoing effort, because you need to regularly review your systems to ensure that they're meeting your needs today and therefore make any necessary adjustments. So you want to get feedback from your team on what's working and what's not, and also from your clients. For instance, if you notice that a particular process is still causing delays, it might be time to reevaluate and adjust it. Continuous improvement ensures that your systems evolve with your agency's growth and changing needs. Finally, measure the return on investment, the ROI, for the systems and processes you've implemented. Track key metrics like time saved, efficiency gained, additional revenue, and client satisfaction. For example, if a new project management tool reduces project delivery time by 15%, that's a significant win that highlights the value of your investment. So here's my challenge to you. Assess your current systems and processes. Are there areas where you could improve efficiency or reduce manual work? What tools or procedures could you use to help streamline your operations? Investing in the right systems can set your agency up for long-term sustainable success and growth. Okay, so that's a wrap on rule number 7, invest in your systems. Let's jump into the final rule, which perhaps I think is the most important one, which is enjoying the journey. As agency owners, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, focus solely on goals, growth and profitability and what's going on right now, putting out fires. But if we don't take the time to appreciate the process, you risk burning out and missing out on the very experience that makes entrepreneurship rewarding. Remember, most of us started our own agency because we wanted flexibility, freedom and control. But the need for control is often at the expense of flexibility and freedom. And as I said, we end up stuck on the client service hamster wheel, putting out fires, and it is not fun. So we need to make sure that success in our mind isn't just about reaching a destination, but it's about finding fulfillment in the journey. So that means celebrating small wins, acknowledging the progress that you've made, not just things that you haven't done, and taking pride in the work you're doing. For example, landing a new client or seeing your team deliver an outstanding project are moments worth celebrating. These milestones remind us why we started our agency in the first place. And to truly enjoy this journey, it's essential to maintain a healthy work-life balance. So we need to make time for hobbies, for family, and for self-care. This balance helps you stay energized and motivated, allowing you to bring your best self to your agency. A good way of keeping perspective is to surround yourself with a support network of fellow agency owners, mentors, and friends who understand the challenges you face. Sharing experiences, seeking advice, or even venting can make the journey more enjoyable and less lonely. Engaging in mastermind groups like the Self-Running Agency or attending industry events can provide valuable connections and a sense of community that so many of us lack when we are working on our own, and we all know that it can feel really lonely at the top. It's really important to focus on the journey, not the destination, because you may never get to the destination, and therefore would it have been worth all the pain on the journey? Whereas if you focus on the journey, you can make sure you are constantly reflecting on your achievements, on how far you've come, to boost your confidence and to stay connected with your why or your purpose. Without getting too woo-woo on all of you, I think a lot of people find it really helpful to keep a journal or having regular check-ins with yourself or your team to celebrate success, and also to practice gratitude. as a way of acknowledging what you're grateful for, whether it's your team, your clients, or your freedom of entrepreneurship, this can definitely help maintain a positive mindset and enjoy the journey more fully. Remember, the journey of running an agency is filled with ups and downs, but it's also full of opportunities for growth, learning, and fulfillment. And by taking the time to enjoy the process, you not only build a successful agency, but also a more rewarding and satisfying life. So that's my 8 rules for life, or 8 rules of running your agency. So just a quick reminder, rule number 1 is to remember that you are not your agency, and ultimately you want to build a business that's less dependent on you, i.e. a self-running agency. Number 2 is your client success is your success. So if you are having great results for your clients, you're going to have great results for your agency. Rule number 3 is to never stop learning. There's so much change in a very fast moving agency world that we need to keep learning, otherwise we get left behind. Rule number 4 is profitability over popularity. So make sure you're focused on the right metrics, which is profitability, so that you can invest back into your agency and not just focusing on those vanity metrics such as likes or even just revenue. Rule number 5 is to value your time. So you need to make sure you prioritize and manage your time effectively to maximize your productivity. Rule number 6 is the power of saying no to the wrong clients. So be selective about the clients you work with to ensure alignment with your agency's goals. Number 7 is to invest in systems and processes to implement the right tools and procedures to streamline operations for future growth. And then rule number 8 is the importance of enjoying the journey and not just focusing on the destination. Okay, so now you're equipped with those 8 essential rules for life. Here are some next steps to help you put them into action. So number 1, I think you should print these rules off and put them somewhere that you can review regularly. I think you should review your current practices to assess your agency's current operations, client relationships, and team dynamics to identify areas for improvement. And lastly, keep regularly evaluating your progress so you can keep refining your strategies, make adjustments where needed to stay on track, and celebrate the successes that you've had so far. Okay, so if you found this episode helpful, I'd love to hear from you. So please do consider leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform, because your feedback helps us improve and reach more agency owners just like you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode of the Agency Accelerator. So other than that, thank you for joining me on this journey through the 8 essential rules for building a successful agency. I'm Rob DaCosta, and I'll see you next time with more insights and strategies to accelerate your agency's growth.